Hey guys, so recently I made a video called The Worst Things About Living in Iceland, and that video kinda blew up. So in today's video I'm going to be discussing the best things about living in Iceland. The first thing that I absolutely love about living in Iceland is the Icelandic water. I have traveled a lot around the world and I have tasted a lot of different waters around the world, but the Icelandic water is just the cleanest, purest, most amazing water in the world, in my opinion. The Icelandic water is one of the cleanest waters in the world. I think Switzerland has like the #1, but I don't know. Iceland is definitely on the top 5 list. We never ever have to buy water like from a bottle, from a store. Everyone drinks the water from the tap. It is clean and pure and so delicious. I don't know how water can be delicious, but like it's just so fresh and good, and honestly I just love water and I really appreciate it. The next thing is something that I got so many comments on my last video, and that is that Iceland does not have an army. We don't have any wars. Iceland is a very peaceful country. Don't quote me on this, but I think that Iceland is the most peaceful country in the world. So I have never been afraid of a war breaking out in my country. I have never felt uneasy or not safe in my own country, which is something that a lot of countries struggle with, and I do realize that. And in my last video, when I was complaining about like small little insignificant things, obviously I wasn't trying to act like there aren't real problems in the world. It's just because I live in Iceland, I don't have to worry about my safety or my family's safety, because this is such a safe country, and that is a very big deal for me. Also, just in general, the crime rate in Iceland is very low compared to a lot of countries. There is of course violence, just like in all countries, but I've never been afraid for my life or for my safety. The next thing is of course the nature, which is a very obvious thing. I am very grateful to be living in such a beautiful country. For me, I just love the nature in Iceland and how accessible the nature is. Like I can go on a road trip whenever I want to see just beautiful, amazing places. I definitely do take the nature for granted sometimes, which I should not do. The next thing is that the poverty rate in Iceland is very low. It's very rare to see someone who literally has like nothing. I have traveled to many countries and it always just blows my mind when I am shopping or I am on a very busy street and I see people who are just sleeping on the streets and have like signs like "help me, I need money." That doesn't really exist in Iceland, and if it does, it's like very rare. I know there are probably homeless people in Iceland, but I've never seen a homeless person like on the street struggling. So yeah, I see that all the time when I'm traveling, and it's very sad. We also do not have any animal shelters. We do have something called Kattholt, which is like a sanctuary for wild cats or cats who have been abandoned. We don't have any dog shelters. There are, I think, no stray dogs in Iceland. There are stray cats, unfortunately. However, Kattholt and something called Villikettir do pick up stray cats and help them and give them a new home. Again, when I am traveling and I see stray dogs everywhere, I just get so sad because it's just like a little puppy who doesn't have a home. The unemployment rate in Iceland is very low. It is only 2.5%. I just checked, so it is only 2.5% as I am filming this video. So there are definitely less people struggling in Iceland than in many other countries. Something else that I used to take for granted for the longest time is that during the summer, the sun legitimately does not set in Iceland. We have sunlight for like 20 hours a day during the summer. Like the sun comes up at like 5 a.m. and it doesn't go down until like 3 a.m. So we have sun basically the whole day. However, during the winter we don't have any sun at all. Like you barely see sun during the winter. It comes up at like 8-9 a.m. and it goes down at like 5 p.m. so you don't have a lot of sun during the winter. I don't really like that. I hate how dark it gets during the winter, but yeah, we're not talking about the negative things right now. The next thing comes as no shock to you guys, that is that I absolutely love the Icelandic language. It's just a beautiful language and I'm very happy to be able to speak it. Something else that I adore about Iceland is that I have so much respect and love for our president. In general, Icelandic people have been very fortunate with their president. Our last president, Ólafur Ragnar Grímsson, was also amazing in my opinion. Not to be too political here, I respect my president. His name is Guðni TH, and yeah, I respect him as a person, and as a president he is doing a very good job, so yay. So the last thing that I am going to talk about is the education system, and by this I mean the universities in Iceland, like the highest stage of education. I study at the University of Iceland, and that is the most popular university in Iceland. There are about 20,000 students learning in the University of Iceland. That we have the University of Reykjavik, which is like the second biggest university, I think. Okay, so the deal with the University of Iceland is that it is a very good school. Like it is very respected and just in general a great school. You don't have to pay millions of dollars to go there. It blows my mind that people, I'm sorry, but people in the US, some I think also in the UK, have to pay so much. Like people are paying like millions of dollars to get an education, which is just ridiculous. Why does it have to be so expensive? I am studying literature and creative writing at the University of Iceland, and I am able to pay that all on my own, just with a part-time job. Like that's how inexpensive it is. I am very, very thankful for that, because I know that there are so many people that have to save up to get an education for years or get a scholarship. Like that is not a problem in Iceland. However, this applies to the University of Iceland. The University of Reykjavik is a lot more expensive. It is not like crazy expensive, but yeah, I don't know. Don't quote me on this, because I know there are a lot of people in Iceland who are struggling to pay their for their education. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have anything to add to my list, please leave those things down below. I know there are many things that I did not discuss in this video, and that is why I probably need to do a part 2, so let me know if you want that. And yeah, okay, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe and check out my Instagram, and yeah, goodbye guys.